I went to Fiegelmüller in Vienna and had their schnitzel, and it's bigger than
childhood memories.
Yeah.
I have childhood memories from the size and the taste of that schnitzel, and they have this raspberry soda. I don't know if you have.
No,
it.
I didn't.
I'm telling you, they have this raspberry soda, and my father used to take us there. My brother, my sister, and me, and I can remember it till today. I do not remember the schnitzel, but I remember this raspberry soda.
Well, then going to Schilling, your newest restaurant in the financial district, having that schnitzel brought me back there in a way because I've been looking for the schnitzel that has waves. Mm-hmm. And I've been watching these mesmerizing videos of you making schnitzel, the butterfly cut, pounding it out. But there is a technique in dragging the meat, the breaded cutlet through the oil so it swims rather than sinks, so you don't burn a side of it.
Well, okay, it's a multifold process, as most things in life are. You first start with the pristine cut of meat. Can be chicken, can be veal, can be pork, center cut pork loin, veal top round, or chicken breast, and then you basically you cut it to a quarter of a half-inch piece, and then you basically pound it. The pounding is a tenderization process, which really helps in the subsequent eating and in the evenly cooking off the schnitzel. Because don't forget, the quality of people's teeth 100 years ago was awful, and they were neither aging it nor braising it. You just don't forget that this piece of meat had to be perfect in order to be eaten easily. And then you basically use sifted all-purpose flour, lightly beaten whole egg with nothing. Some people swear putting in sparkling water, some swear putting in milk. No, egg only, slightly beaten. The reason why you only want it lightly beaten is so it coats a bit thicker on the schnitzel, and then you basically finish it off in breadcrumbs, sifted, unseasoned breadcrumbs. Don't use any seasoned herbal breadcrumbs. It just takes flavor away from the actual meat, which is the star of the dish. And after going through the breading procedure, and just make sure that you have no clumps forming in the breading procedure, because only an even coating of the meat will allow you to perfectly puff it up, which is then the key part, the puffed up schnitzel, and the color, which has to resemble the color of a Stradivarius, going back to the Viennese roots of classical music. And then the classic side dishes are fingerling potato salad, cucumber dill. I think dill is such an underperformed and underused and utilized herb in cooking in general. Together with tarragon, together with chervil, I think those are the three underdogs. I think because everybody goes rosemary, thyme, parsley, chive, and I really think tarragon, chervil, dill are the main stars. Yeah, I personally think.
The softer herbs. And I agree, because after coming back from Vienna, I did crave dill. I had it in aquavit over there. I had it in so many different applications. I had it in schnapps. But spatzel, strudel, again, feel like these dishes that are so easily executed at home, but obviously it takes a very deft hand to be able to accomplish, the lightness of what these things should be. There's this word, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce it, but it means a sense of conviviality.
Gemütlichkeit.
Yeah, can you explain what that comes from, what that means to you and to your restaurants?
Some people call us crazy to put so much detail into the restaurants. If you look at Eddie and the Wolf, if you look at Freud, if you look at Schilling and the Third Man, there's a lot of there's first and foremost the perfect sense of proportion. That's also what you really find in this. It's called the architectural stream, which Vienna is built on. Is called the Historismus. Historism, I guess, would be the proper translation to this. And historism basically the basis of the golden cut, which is from Plato, which basically defines a certain proportion within a room, within a building, within furniture, and so on and so forth. So this is the first rule. What we have is the proportion of the room, bar versus dining room. When it comes to dining room, seating versus the width of the place, etc. And then So Gemütlichkeit starts with the proper proportion of a room, because only then you feel comfortable. The second you feel comfortable, you can start with sharing this time with your friends, with your family. I mean, that's like the whole purpose of going to a restaurant, bar, whatever it is, coffee shop, is to refresh your memories from like good old times, create new good memories with either old friends and new friends, and ideally doing this together, and therefore creating this like self-feeding process of living, of life, of like, that's the reason why people lived in coffee shops.
You don't think it's because you want to set this sense of comfort and serenity so you can be psychoanalyzed? I mean, isn't that the basis of all Viennese culture?
Yeah, I mean, like,
you have a bar of Freud.
There was a reason why Freud took Vienna as like the breeding ground of his psychoanalysis, because number one, it was the center of, I guess, it was the scientific, the business center, the political center of the world at that time, and Freud was, for going back, I mean, like half New Yorkers are Freudians anyway, and 3/4 go to the therapist. So, but then the Viennese had a different solution. They just like would sit with their friends, drink and talk. So that was their therapy. And like, if you really think about it, there's not much difference of paying your therapist to talk about certain things, or like going into the coffee shop or into a wine bar, a Viennese wine bar, to talk about the daily struggles you have, because for most, we all have the same problems most of the time.
You know, in walking into The Third Man for the first time, I had this weird sense of deja vu, because I've seen the movie. Mm-hmm. I've seen Orson Welles, and it was written by Graham Greene, I believe, yes, too.
Orson Welles just stars in it.
Yeah.
Some people think that
it's his movie.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, talk about psychoanalysis. It is a psychological thriller. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, walking into The Third Man, which is a little labyrinth-like, mm-hmm, and you may feel trapped when you go in because of how it's set up, you feel fine being stuck there or staying there for a long period, mm-hmm, of time. How did you figure out the golden mean, or Plato's theory, in making that place so homey and so comfortable, and it just lets your guard down in this way?
I mean, it's the entire room basically mirrors itself, and it's the inspiration for The Third Man also came from this beautiful bar, which is the Loos Bar, Loos, in Vienna, which was built by Adolf Loos for his who was a grand architect, for his three sons, because he was really irritated by his three sons always going out to drink at night. So he's like, listen, boys, I'm gonna build you a bar, which was right below where he lived, so I know where you are, and you can feel comfortable. And this room is so small and makes such good use of proportion, mirrors, material, the brass, the green leather, the onyx, and so on and so forth. I mean, and this was built. If you go online and you check out this bar, you cannot believe that this bar is older than 100 years. So you have all this like speakeasy operations, and then this guy basically started with the elegant speakeasy 100 years ago. So that was the starting point to The Third Man.
Yeah.
And then when I told my guys, it's like, hey, I really want to build it like this, they gave me a dollar amount to build it like 1-to-1, which was just not feasible. Like, I'm talking backlit marble, brass, leather,